Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Goddess Talk Show. I'm your host, Bolaji Ajike. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm so excited for you all to meet Prymel Elements. The ladies of Prymel, Dejanay Dunn and Allison Kerr, are here to talk about branding. If you've been struggling on social media or just trying to get your brand out there, you need to connect with Prymel. Tonight, I really want to make sure that you guys go download Goddess Talk app, check it out. It's on your Google and your Apple Play stores, all right? And if you haven't yet, get you a bottle of Omi. Omi water is available on my website, and you can nourish, thrive, and just grow. It's all about hydration. So while we're home, everybody make sure you're hydrating yourself. Drink a lot of water. And tonight with Go Prymel, we're going to talk about it. See you soon. Welcome back to Goddess Talk Show with Bolaji. I'm here with the ladies of Prymel Elements. We have Dejanay Dunn.
Hi.
And Allison Kerr.
Hello.
How y'all ladies on tonight?
We're good. Hanging in there.
Look, it's Tuesday. It feels like it's still Monday.
Yeah.
But how is everything going, ladies?
Good. It's been a week so far. We're doing a lot of like really new stuff and bringing on new clients and dealing with personal life and trying to figure out like what work-life balance actually looks like. Allison just got back from vacation and I haven't spoken to her about it yet, but I'm assuming she actually vacated.
I did.
I be saying, like, do y'all know what it means to vacate?
Right.
Like, drop off the grid, don't call me, don't hit me up.
It's really hard, but I left my laptop at home for like the first time ever, which is
so
good.
proud.
That first time.
I only checked Slack twice.
So where'd you go since we're here?
I just went to Miami. I was hanging out at Miami Beach. As I wanted to get somewhere that was far enough away, but not out of the country. And you know, Miami is basically its own country. So
yeah.
I figured that qualified.
So did you go to Carnival?
I did not go to Carnival.
You missed out.
Because I think it started on Friday or Saturday, and I was already back. Okay. But yeah, Miami was still lit. The parties on South Beach started Wednesday, and yeah, I didn't go to parties. They kept me up because I was trying to sleep. But
So first of all, Prymel Elements. What is Prymel Elements?
oh, okay. So she got it. Nope. That's me. So Prymel Elements is a branding and consulting agency. We work with minority-owned businesses, women-owned, black-owned companies that are trying to make a difference in the world and bend the culture, you know?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, bend the culture. What does that mean? So give us that vibe. I was like, what's bend the culture? Because, you know, we bend in a lot of things. Come on.
So we're all about really taking what you're trying to create and molding it into this, you know, really fabulous, long-lasting, legacy-building, dynamic experience for you, for your clients, for your customers. Really just kind of taking it all in and saying, like, that's kind of dope. Like, that's really like going against the status quo, and that's really creating this culture of like, we good people.
Y'all, and I saw that y'all the team, y'all the vibes, okay? So I was like, but it's funny because reviewing your website, like I've seen the website myself personally, so I'm trying to get my branding together, y'all. This is a process. It took me over a year, like between talking and finally making decisions, like I do drag things along because I got to make sure everything's right. So talk about what it's like working with different clients, because everybody's doing different things. So how do you guys, what is your process?
So let me first off say our clients are amazing. They're all like world changers, doing some really amazing things, like you, Bolaji. And I think, you know, for us, it always starts with being able to help them build a really solid foundation for whatever it is they're trying to build. So whether it's, you know, a nonprofit or a startup, whether it's a beauty brand or even a realtor, like we try to make sure that the foundation for that brand is solid. So when a lot of people come to us, they don't really know what they want to do, or they don't even know how to tell their story. So we help them by walking through our branding process and help them build that foundation, tell their stories really well, and give them all the elements that they need to really make their vision come to life.
And you said the elements, so Prymel or Prymel, how is this supposed to be pronounced? Prymel. So how did you get to that name? Because, you know, some people may have their own ways of thinking, but what does it mean?
So Allison and I merged our companies. So prior to that, I was a completely different company, and it was more based off of a more personalized me, you know, my name and everything. So when we decided to merge, she had just rebranded not too long before that as Prymel, and was like, let's keep that. Like, that's really dope. And, you know, the concept behind it, the concept of kind of building things from the ground and really getting that like holistic approach to stuff really stuck out to me. And so when we decided to merge, like, okay, well, let's keep that. But you know, Allison was the one who created Prymel, the name. And then once we merged, we kind of really dived into what we wanted our origin to be, and what we wanted our, you know, full on just, you know, our aesthetic and our morals and our goals and our culture and everything behind it. That we worked for about a year on discovering what that meant for two women coming together in a brand new company, dissolving, you know, everything that they had done before and starting something up new. So that was a bit of a task and journey for us, but it was actually really exciting because it taught us how to really walk our clients through that. And it taught us a lot about patience.
Patience.
Say it again.
Patience.
Like, I ain't got none.
Right.
And I've been working on it. I promise you I have.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something that's really important for me, and I know we talk about it all the time, but women coming together, right? Because the world would think that women can't work together, they cannot coexist, you know, that it's always something. And you guys, I feel like you're great communicators, you know? So just discuss that part where you were two separate entities. I remember the story. Y'all came together with Beyonce.
Yeah,
and food. The two most important things. Yes. I know this story very well. But Beyonce and food, and come to find out that you are doing similar things, but you both have your own flair. Let's just say that. So talk about that, starting with you. You know, talk about your upbringing, your start. You know, y'all went to the same school too, right?
No. So for me, my background is actually in journalism and communications. And so I went to school thinking that I was going to start a magazine, graduated from UF and had the magazine and was thinking that that's where my life was going to be. And then, you know, fast forward a couple years, kind of life took a different turn. Just, you know, not exactly what I was thinking. And I ended up starting this graphic design company out of a need to survive at that point, because I had lost my job and I was like, oh shoot, what am I gonna do? So graphic design company comes up, and you know, I didn't really ever think that I was going to see that part of my education or that dream of like being able to tell stories like come back into my plan. So, you know, I just kind of hustled and tried to figure out exactly how this was going to look, and you know, build the business bit by bit over the next couple of years. And I ended up moving to Tampa in 2016, and Dejanay and I met the following year at Tampa Bay Startup Week. And at that time, I still had my company, but it was more of like a freelance, you know, design business. So I was just doing some websites and, you know, design projects and social media. But I knew there was something more. Kept having these conversations with clients about, you know, their identity and story and like all of this. And I'm like, I don't know what it's called, but
we'll figure it out.
And I can do it. So And people kept asking me, we're like, yeah, I want to talk about that. I'm like, okay. So, you know, we became friends after meeting, and, you know, just kind of stayed connected with each other. You know, we both have Caribbean background. So my family's from Jamaica. Dejanay was born in St. Croix. So, yeah. So, you know.
One of the islands.
One of the islands.
Yes.
And so we had that connection, as well as just like having very similar upbringings. Our moms are basically the same person. So, yeah.
Shout out. Yeah. She ain't sharing, but she can't share.
Yeah, like our parents are like the same people. So, you know, just having that familiarity just helped us to build a really strong bond for our friendship. And, you know, we were talking one day, this is like 2019, just griping about how crazy our businesses were and how stressed out we were out about different things. And we kind of were both at this crossroad where we're like, okay, either we need to go in a completely different direction or I don't know what. So, you know, I would said to her, I was like, hey, so what do you think about like merging our companies? And she was like, oh my God, I'm so ready for that. I was like, oh, you know, and she's, you know, she finally said yes, because I've been thinking about it.
She's been manifesting this
for like 2 years.
Yeah, she's waiting for you to say this.
She guided you along to the decision. We just need to do this.
We just need to do this.
Patience, right?
Yes.
Especially
2 years.
Right? Yes.
All right.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
We love y'all.
I know.
Let's go.
Oh, Beyonce, we love you.
Right?
But
Oh, she knows.
yeah.
She's very aware.
No, this is normal.
Every day.
Yeah. So y'all came together. So now you, Miss St. Croix,
Yep.
one of the islands. I've been to St. Thomas and St. John, and I was so mad that I could not make it to St. Croix and Martin and everything that one trip. But I'm going to go back.
Yes, go back. St. Croix is that, and there's always a place for you.
Thank you so much.
I
will use that passport.
I open my parents' home to anybody who asks.
It's like, hey, auntie.
They know.
But I met them during your birthday.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
So you're family now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
They were
you're family.
I was just looking. It just looked so like, just our energy is general. Like we're just real relaxed, and most Caribbean, most cultures are very relaxed. It doesn't have to be so frou-frou. Everybody can just kind of move and flow and dance in their own little space. And it's not like you don't have to put on a show.
Yeah.
It's just here's family. And it was so beautiful. Your birthday.
Thank you.
And you know, you of course had all the black-owned situations.
Yeah.
So I was over here like, this is my friend.
My people came through. Okay, my people came through, and I'm so glad you were there. And you know, I moved here. I was born and raised in St. Croix. I moved here for school. So, you know, it was my first like real life adult experience. Culture shock out of this world.
It's true.
Like, it was crazy. I went to UT, graduated from UT, worked for a couple different places, and then quickly realized that I did not want to work for anybody in the capacity of not being able to make my own decisions in my own time. Being able to say no and not getting in trouble for saying no. Being able to not work one day and it doesn't matter, you know, if I don't work that day, I just don't get paid that day. And it is what it is, you know what I mean? But I didn't have to rely on somebody else to be like, oh, we have to wait to see if you can take this day off. So I did that for a few years until, you know, Allison and I met, and it was a really interesting experience starting my own company. I was 22, I think, when I started my company. And I just knew that I wanted to still go on trips, and I wanted to still eat.
All day.
2 essential things.
Let me tell you, there's just something about your stomach being filled.
Right.
It's like, it's love.
It's such goodness.
It's love. And I knew that's what I wanted to continue to do, and I had this lifestyle that I created for myself that was surrounded by good food and traveling. So that's pretty much what it came to, and then Allison and I met, and you know, here we are.
Here we are. So we're going to take our first break on Goddess Talk. Shout out to Prymel Elements. We're going to, of course, put their information in there for you. But we, of course, want to thank our sponsors, Mama Plex, LLC, Salon 3 AM, and Clarity and Wellness. We'll be right back on Goddess Talk Show. welcome back to Goddess Talk Show. As you can see, we're laughing and kikiing over here. Ladies, are you thirsty?
Yeah.
Let's go into it.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm so happy to have my friends here because we have Omi water. But the ladies have been in.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hoity-toity. But ladies have been involved with Omi as far as understanding what I've been wanting to do with the brand. So if you wouldn't mind just discussing, you know, branding when it comes to products. You know, you have different people who are selling makeup, I'm sure, or other things, but have you ever dealt with a water brand or company?
Not particularly with water brand. We've done with one of our clients that we finished with recently does like a lot of party favors. So customizing like chip bags and water bottles and juice pouches and things like that. So we created like this really robust e-commerce store for her. She's doing really well. We've done skincare. We've done just about a lot.
Everything. Yeah.
And what does it take? Because a lot of people want, I had a friend actually, we spoke today, he wants to go into oils. You know, he has an oil that's going to be
like
just,
essential oil?
No, for hair.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's in the beauty industry. And I was like, well, you know, I know the back end of things, you know, the manufacturing part and all those things, how to tie it together, how to tie in logistics to get it to the kind of people that you want to. But it comes down to branding, honestly, that's going to bring the people in. A lot of people don't know that, and I'm still learning. I've been out here just branding everything, and it's just like, it's been all over the place. So now trying to have an identity is hard because I'm an Aries and I have so many different identities, you know? But so just discuss how you would guide a client, how they're guiding me right now. I'm still struggling here, y'all.
But we got you.
No, I know that. That's why I haven't felt no type of way. I was like, no, my girls know, like, they're gonna get what they get when they get it.
We know that has not stopped us.
Oh no, they still send me stuff like here,
just check
it out. Yes, but talk about that because you'll have people of all walks of life. They want to do something, but have you ever had a client that you know they just weren't there yet and you had to guide them there?
Oh yeah. And I mean, like we talked about earlier, everything starts with the brand. So, you know, not only your identity, but being able to tell your story. And especially for product-based brands, it's so important that there's a story behind it. You look at, you know, some of the top, you know, black hair care brands that are out there, Miss Jessie's, you know, all of that. Like it's something where there's always this really amazing story behind it. You know, that's what really sells people. And then of course, you know, does it actually work? You know, you could put a celebrity to endorse a product all day long, but if that product doesn't have an emotional attachment, create an emotional attachment for that person, then they're not really going to buy it, you know. So all the benefits, you know, it keeps your hair moist, you know, it makes your curls pop, and like, okay, that's cool.
But does it?
But you know, one, but does it? But two, you know, what is the actual like problem that you're solving for someone? You know, that's what these products are doing. You're solving a problem for someone. So it's not just that the curls are popping or that your scalp stays moist all day. It's also that you look amazing when you walk out the house. It saves you time because you're not having to sit here and, you know, wait for your hair to dry, you know, as you're trying to run out the house. You know, it gives you options now. It gives you freedom. So one of the things that I think a lot of brands struggle with is understanding the solution that they're bringing for their clients. So everybody has a problem, you know, but people start with talking about the problems and not how they're their solution. So even if you have this beautiful, you know, water brand that you're building, how many different water brands are out there on the market, you know? But you're doing something that solves someone's problem, and that's what you should be talking about. You know, that's what brands should be talking about when they're putting themselves out there on the market. So our job is to walk them through the process on how to actually tell people what they do and how they solve the problems that they're having through stories.
And for you, because you had the lifestyle branding background. Is that correct? Like you had lifestyle, you had more of the brand, like product base. Did it separate and then come together, or y'all both?
It was kind of.
It was a mix of a lot of different things. I worked with personal brands, services. I don't think I did any products before merging, but it was a good mix of a lot of different things. I worked with realtors and mortgage lenders, doulas. Like I think for me, I was heavier on the service industry prior to us merging, and then started really getting more and more interested in the product stuff because it is an exciting experience. It's very overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming. But one of the things I enjoy about product branding is, what does that look like when I first walk up to the shelf? So like when you first walk up to something, it's always packaging that gets your eye. You're like, ooh, that's kind of cute. Does it work? I don't know, but I'm gonna buy it because
I'm a cute person. I'm like, oh, this is so cute. But then you open it up and it's like,
this is not cute at all.
I remember, and I'm gonna tell y'all one story because I like different bottles of wine. Like, if your packaging is amazing,
I'm buying it.
I bought it, and then I opened it up, poured a nice glass, and I was like,
it's gross. That's gross. You can see it's gross. It's bad.
I felt some type of way.
Yeah.
Because it hurt me.
Yeah.
Like, it hurt me. So we have people who are out here putting out great packaging, but it doesn't taste or feel or do what it's supposed to do.
Exactly.
Have you had to have that conversation?
Yeah, I would say, maybe not so much with products, but with the solutions and services that a lot of our clients are offering, we may have to sit down and say, okay, well, that's great that you have these 5 different services, but they're not actually meeting your clients' needs, or your customers' needs, so how do you even figure that out, and most of it, you can look at the numbers, look at what's selling, look at what's not selling, listen to what your clients or customers are asking you about all the time, and you over here trying to offer services in one area, and they're like, well, we actually really need this, so it's the same thing when you talk about the type of product that you're producing for wine and whatnot. Like, if it's eventually, people are gonna find out, because you could okey doke people all day,
but it don't.
But they're going to, and especially with food, we have Yelp, we have Google, we have Facebook. There's all these places,
so many reviews,
where you can leave reviews. Black Twitter, don't let something bad get on Black Twitter.
I was about to say because they can definitely expose certain things here.
Absolutely. So for that reason, because we live in such a digitally minded world, you have to be really careful that your product actually does what it says it does, because eventually people are going to find out, and then they're going to stop, they're going to boycott, they're going to write a review, they're going to you might have seen it start out as 5 stars, but then give it 6 months and it goes down to 3.5, because people recognize, oh, this is not exactly, it's not all cracked up to what
it ain't giving what it's supposed to give.
Exactly.
Okay. So now I'm so proud of you guys, but you guys got Verizon on your roster. Okay. And I do have Verizon, and I'm very happy with my service. But that news broke last year. So just talk about that, if you don't mind. What was that process when you were even approached about it, or how did it go?
So I am a member of the National Association of Women Business Owners, and it's an organization that represents women business owners all over the country and the world. And they actually do a lot to, in terms of like helping their members get exposure to different opportunities. And so they have a partnership with Verizon and the Girl Scouts called Circle Around, and through that program, Verizon came to them and was like, "Hey, we are putting together a program to support small businesses through COVID, and we want to know if there are any women-owned businesses in the Tampa Bay area that are a part of your organization that we could talk to." So the director of communications for NABA on the national level found my profile and was like, "Hey,
you're a woman-owned business.
You have a great story." I want to hear like, where did she read my story?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Is it
updated? Right. She's talking about what did I write? you know, so, you know, and a lot of times I just put myself out there and I don't even check exactly what's been out there. So, you know, she saw my story and was like, oh man, like, I think you guys would be a great fit for this. And I had no idea who it was or what exactly, you know, she was talking about. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, this is like, you know, right, I think it was January of this year that we had this conversation. So from conversation to like a week later, you know, we're talking to Verizon or not to Verizon, but to the agency that is putting together this campaign. And they're like, yeah, so here's, you know, we want to film a commercial with you guys. It's going to be you and 2 other businesses in the area. You know, we really love your story. And we're also going to, you know, by the way, going to be giving you like equipment to use and, you know, like cell phones and hotspots and like all this stuff for a whole, you know, at least I think at first it was going to be 6 months. And then they decided, we're going to give it to you.
And by the way, we're going to air the commercial during the Super Bowl after party.
And I was like, what?
I was like, I know that. I was like, it was so crazy. It was surreal because we were doing Super Bowl happened. And we had our first festival during that time. And it was just like, okay, we're trying to be in the moment of Super Bowl, but you're hosting an event. And it's like, your friends are on TV for school. You know, but it's like, you know, when good people get good things, you know what I'm saying? Like, it took me forever, but I was like, no, I already knew I was going to be working with y'all since our first interview back, my first shows back in the day. But it's just like, when good people get it, you just like, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Get it. So how has that been? Because I'm sure that this has also opened you up to other places and other brands as well.
Yeah, I think it definitely has boosted us in the terms of recognition and trustworthiness and brand awareness. It definitely has been valuable to us in a lot of different ways, internally and externally. We've been featured on their Twitter, on their LinkedIn. They've done several articles about us. Like, it's just seeing our faces in like national publications and like for the world to see. It's like, how did we get here? And it's seeing 2 Black women in this space and them reaching out to us and say, hey, we really want to do this with you guys. We want to do this with you guys. Oh, and then we're going to send you a check.
Oh, I like money.
Okay.
Because I can eat. And I can go on vacation. Of course.
But we're also going to make sure that your team is taken care of. So blue jeans that we use when we speak with you, with the with clients in our team, that came through them. They paid for us to make sure that we have all of our like G Suite stuff together. And they gave us cell phones. They gave us desk phones and Wi-Fi, MiFi.
Yes, I remember. Yeah,
like they hooked us up.
Yeah,
they hooked us up. They really took care of us, and they've been taking care of us. And every couple weeks or so, we'll get an email saying, "Hey, we're about to do another feature. Here's what we need from you. Send us some pics. Send us answers to the questions." And
no, that's beautiful, because now you guys are going through a branding of your own selves out here, because now they're asking for pictures, they're asking for features. So you guys are building something that you can assist your clients in, because a lot of people tie into other brands because they hope that this is a machine that can help move their companies. So how is that feeling? Like, okay, I'm pulling people along as well.
Yeah, I think I said earlier, it's surreal that we're even having this conversation right now. But, I think the beauty of it for me is recognizing that, we do have something, and I think that's the success of it all. And, people, as much as amazing as that opportunity has been for us, I think that if anything, it's just been more validating, that we have something that is actually unique and it's working. And we can bring our clients into that, like it helps us it's forcing us to up level our game and to make sure that, we're not playing small, because I think that's one of the challenges with small businesses and minority businesses. It's like, you don't always play to your capacity. We a lot of times we play small because we don't know that we have more to offer or that we're worthy of more. So to get this opportunity to be able to see how it's increased our credibility and our just visibility. It really has helped us to really say, look, we can't go.
We're famous now.
Yeah.
Hair flip.
We're famous now.
Tap your head. I got it.
Use my link.
My
assistant will help you book.
Let me tell you, when you start throwing out the assistance thing, it's like,
I feel like such a snob every time.
But it's so necessary. But it's so necessary because guess what? You're not as accessible, as reachable, and people don't understand that. It's not a bad thing. It's actually growth. It's building. It's not. You don't shrink yourself when you get to certain levels. You can't.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to do it anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're about to take our next break. Shout out, of course, to Prymel Elements. Again, our beautiful sponsors: Mamaplex LLC, Salon 3 AM, and Clarity in Wellness. Of course, you can also go get your Omi water. I'll put my website up there. We'll be right back on Goddess Talk Show. Welcome back to Goddess Talk Show. I'm here with the ladies of Prymel Elements. We got DJ Dunn and Allison Kerr. You guys are amazing. Before the break, we were talking about leveling up. Level up. So talk about that, because you were saying earlier that it's surreal to be having this conversation, because at one point you didn't know what you were going to be doing, where you were going to be going, that you would even connect with her. Nope. You just came from St. Croix. You just
fresh off the boat.
You hear Yankee, you just like, what? Like what? And then you meet somebody at some event, and then it's like, oh, we're friends, and it's Beyonce, and it's food, and it's but y'all got your own things going on, and then it's like, oh, I'm overwhelmed, and do you want to together? Mm-hmm. You want to do this?
Right.
And here you are. There we go. So leveling up, what has that meant, or what has that looked like for you? Because I feel like it's overwhelming at times.
Yeah. I think, for next year will be 10 years since I started on this entrepreneurial journey.
Oh, that birthday.
Technically, I started my first venture when I was 20, but I didn't make any money. So 10 years since I actually, got
the first
paid.
first dollar that was signed in my name, in this company name.
So my first dollar, I actually went to because she deposited into my bank, but I actually went to the bank and took out money and put it in a little keepsake box. I'm like, I need this.
Yes.
This is what's keeping me going.
10 years.
10 years.
And most people, because we are millennials, and it's weird when we say 10 years because that's early 2000s.
Right.
Not 1990 something. Not, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about early 2000s. I have a sibling born in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? But you were out here doing it when most people have learned to just get a job security, whatever your passions or whatever, you can push it aside or do it as a side hustle. it's not something to invest in like that.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like that was your passion to do. You really were passionate about doing this.
You know, the funny thing is I actually avoided entrepreneurship like the plague. I was supposed to take it as a minor, and it was really hard. The classes were hard at UF, and I was just like, I'm gonna fail. So I took microeconomics 3 times. I don't like to say
Econ was the devil until this
Like,
day. To this day, we see what the economy looks like.
Right, it's not that hard, but they
I
made
still
it more
don't get
complicated than it needed to be.
It's a math thing.
And I don't know how to pay for that.
Right, exactly.
Like, to
3
take
times.
it, I guess.
Let's just
We're all
shout out
the same
to those
people.
professors who gave us extra time.
Thank you, tutoring.
Thanks.
Sean.
And summer school.
That was how I passed it with
Thanks,
summer school.
Summer school and tutoring.
Look, all that, but 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
What has that been like? Like, most people can't even fathom what it was. So you didn't want to get into this.
No,
and
I
you
didn't.
were like, I don't like nobody telling me what to do.
Yeah. So when I graduated, my mom retired that same year, and she started her own company. So I actually started working with her right after I decided that I wanted to kind of do my own thing. And so it was, for me, it was kind of like a natural progression, because I had that available or that ability to work on my own as a independent contractor or whatever the case was. So it kind of just slowly morphed into business ownership. In high school, I like made jewelry and sold jewelry. So like it was kind of like little things here and there. I knew I always wanted to own my own company. I thought I was gonna own a wedding gown store.
It might still happen, babe.
It's gonna happen for me.
I think like you're making money that's going to be an investment and you're going to do it.
It's gonna happen.
I'll talk to you when I'm ready.
Okay.
But, you know, in the meantime.
But I was like gonna have like, it was gonna be like, you know, for all different size women and all sizes and shapes and everything. And it was gonna be like this. I actually won a scholarship for designing what this boutique was gonna look like, and that helped me go to this summer program at Penn State. And that's the only way I was able to get there, because my mom was like, "No, if you want to go, you gotta figure it out." So
our parents love us, but
not I want to. I pay tuition, but I ain't gonna do much for these. Now you want summer money? That's a problem.
Work.
But yeah, so I knew I kind of always wanted some type of business ownership, and I actually started out at Art Institute. And I was studying fashion management, retail and fashion management. And I had like a 4.0 GPA, and they were like, "Oh, we'll give you a couple $100 for your grade." I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna need more than that." So I applied to UT, got in, and I was studying business management, and they were like, "You gonna have to take business calculus." I said, "No, I'm not."
Statistics was
Like, what are these things that you're making me take?
I was like, no.
Like, I don't get it. Math, and then they want to give you all the math things at one time, like. And
the side eyes right now. But you talked about journalism and communications. That's my background. And it's so funny because talking about stories and everything, like I never thought that I would be here. Just like you never thought that you would be helping other people tell their stories. And you, hey, fashion and design, but that helps you now with designing and all the, what's the style, what's the story, what's the branding look like. Like, you have to just, you know, we weren't sure growing up as millennials what was going to happen. But I think there's a, you know, just a story in the fact that, you know, perseverance. That if you have something that you want to do, keep going, because you never know where it will take you. And so what has that been like for you as far as confidence boosting? Because the world sometimes doesn't have a great story for us. The world sometimes doesn't show us. But here you are, beautiful melanated queens here. How has that done? What has that done for you?
I think that the one thing that people don't understand about entrepreneurship is that there is such a personal growth aspect to it. And this journey has not only boosted my confidence, but helped to really solidify my identity and purpose, because I told you I ran away from it. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't see women who looked like me who were being successful in this space. So in my mind, I thought this was for other people, not me. So, you know, going through it, I wasn't able to skip any of the hard stuff that happened. You know, you don't get to do that.
Slam right into it.
Right, you slam right into it. So, you know, it was a very humbling, you know, journey for me. Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah. You know,
Till this day.
To this day.
Still happening.
Still happening.
Every day.
But, you know, those days when you're just like, okay, it's rice and beans tonight, you know, and it's just, you just gotta make it work, you know.
People don't understand. And I actually just posted something, I think it was yesterday, where it's like, it is hard. Yes, you have beautiful pictures. Yes, we have beautiful videos and we're showing you. But if you saw this BTS, like the real BTS, where you are getting up at certain hours, going to sleep at certain hours,
dragging yourself
like shower is a consideration.
Yeah,
Right.
like, oh,
Food is a consideration. You know, did you go to have you been to the doctor?
Yep.
Insurance
Is a consideration. Yes.
health, wellness,
insurance
working
is definitely
out.
like can I afford
Can
this?
I afford it? People don't know.
Yeah.
Employing people, firing, hiring,
Yep.
taxes,
Yes.
business taxes,
Woo.
employee taxes.
You saying all the things.
This is all the stuff, the struggle.
You saying all
My
the
heart
things.
hurts sometimes. But it's like, we weren't prepared, number one.
Yeah.
Right.
Because most of us, our parents didn't have this.
Right.
We don't have that legacy, but we're creating it.
Correct.
And I think that we can all really agree that, hey, our mistakes, though humbling, have been teachable moments for other people not to make the same mistakes. So what advice would you give upcoming entrepreneurs, especially if they want to come into your space, but just in general, something to give them, like, yes, we know it's hard, but you can.
Yeah, I think for me, it's definitely this whole concept of like hustle culture is so just, I'm over it.
No.
I don't want to do that forever. Like that's not the reason why I decided to do this. You know, I know I want to get to a point where I can easily say, okay, everybody on the team is good. I can walk away and go to Morocco for the weekend because
For a year.
they got it. For a year. They got it.
Yeah.
But it's like this whole concept of like, you gotta hustle, you can sleep when you die. Like, no, I wanna sleep now.
I love sleep.
I wanna sleep. Like, I just want to lay my head down and sleep a full 6 hours. I have not slept a full 6 hours in like 4 years.
I don't know
what that
looks
means.
like. Yeah.
So it's a struggle to really consider like glorifying entrepreneurship. That has to stop. It has to stop.
I totally agree, because
And
like
really tell the true story. Like,
the true story is sleepless nights.
it's sleepless nights.
The true story is broke bank accounts.
Yep. Negative.
Negatives.
Negativo.
What are they called? Surcharges.
Right.
Calls, IRS letters
Yep.
you owe. It's accountants and other accountants,
Yep.
and it's a lot. And it's a lot of financial instability. It's but it's this dream.
Yeah, it's the drive and it's the legacy. And for me, you know, I think a lot about what I want my legacy to be, and I don't want it to be, oh, she was a business owner.
Yeah.
Like, what impact did I really have on people, on my community? I'm very community driven, very people driven. What was that impact? What are when they are at my I don't want to have a funeral.
90
When
times
they
10.
well, no, 90 times
90
10.
times 10.
When they're celebrating my life, like, what are they saying about me? And I do not want it to be oh, she owned a business.
Yeah.
I want it to be like, she did the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like, she did that.
Yeah.
Like, she really helped people do what they wanted to do. She made an impact in her community, and we loved her for that, you know? And that's something I think about often, and it makes me really consider, what do I have to do now to make sure that happens no matter when it's my time to go?
Yeah.
Whether that's tomorrow or 50 years from now,
Whenever
that happens, like, I want that to be what they say at the end of my life.
And now, so what would you give the audience as far as, you know, a tidbit about entrepreneurship?
I would say that while you're going through the journey, that you really need to allow yourself to grow in the process too. Like, get to know you. Like, entrepreneurship is going to bring up a lot of issues, you know, about
traumas.
We have therapy sessions with our coach like once a week.
Yes.
But just you know, not only, you know, not only your confidence, but also just, you know, who you are. It's gonna come into question a lot of times. Even just you being able to trust yourself to make the right decisions. You know, when stuff goes left, you know, can you trust yourself to make the right decision to bring everything, you know, upside? And I think that is probably the one thing that's carried me through, is just recognizing, like, I have what it takes, you know, and we've got what it takes. Like, it's whatever happens, entrepreneurs always figure it out, you know. Like, we are problem solvers, and you have to be that.
We create our own problems.
We create our own,
but we will solve it.
But we will also
Or we
solve
will
it,
find somebody
you know?
who can.
Yeah, we will find somebody.
That too.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think that's been the one thing that's kept me through this you know, almost decade-long journey, was realizing, like, okay, I do have what it takes. I belong here, you know, and I need to make sure that I'm embracing all of who I am and learning about myself. I've read so many books. Like, I tell her all the time about all these different books I'm reading. Like, oh, I've read this. She's like, that's great. Cool.
Send me notes.
Send me some notes.
Is there a movie?
Right.
Is this a YouTube clip?
It's on the TikTok.
But you know, I touch his fat in there.
Right, you know, but you know, you follow other entrepreneurs and you see how they've, you know, come through their journey, and a lot of them have done that. And I'm an avid learner, so I gotta, you know, if I can't Google, YouTube it, I gotta read it, figure it out for myself. And so, like, I think that skill set.
You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
Skill set.
You know words.
Look.
Roll it back.
Tongue twisters.
That skill set, you know, is really important when you are running a business. You got to be your own teacher and be willing to seek out the information. Don't get stuck at what you know, but, you know, look at what other people have done. Talk to people, you know, find a mentor. Just, you know, don't stay stuck in a bubble and on an island, you know, trying to just do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at, y'all. I'm finally treading some water. Yeah, coming out of that, it's hard, but the growth is very important. You know, letting other people come and help you when it's just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Can't do this anymore. But I thank you both for being here. This has been beautiful. Prymel Elements. You guys are doing the daggone thing. I'm gonna give y'all all the flowers. I ain't got none in the house, but
they dying.
I don't like flowers in the house. I love you because you understood that. But we'll be back on another episode of Goddess Talk Show. Download the app. Prymel Elements is on the app. You guys have been supporting me from day one, and I love it. Download the app. Watch the show on GT Network, which you can find on your Roku, your Comcast Big South, your Apple TV, and your Amazon TV. You know, purchase the water, purchase the candles. Just connect with some beautiful people. All I do is share other brands all day. So I appreciate y'all. Our amazing sponsors, Mama Plex, Salon 3 AM, Clarity and Wellness. We'll see you guys next week on Goddess Talk Show. Bye.